My fellow Ambazonians, this is Dr. Cho Ayaba. In the last few days, we have been inundated with a lot of press reports about ongoing direct talks with Cameroun on the possibility of a ceasefire. These reports have been circulated based on a discussion Comrade Cho Ayaba had with an unknown or unnamed official of Cameroun. The Ambazonian Governing Council met in extraordinary session and debated the briefings that we received from the Seseko camp. First, I would like to say this. Our collaboration with the IGK is extremely very strong and will remain strong. It's exemplified by the meeting we held yesterday, the consortium, the Ambazonian Governing Council and the IGK, to look on the way forward on different issues, especially the celebration of our Day of Independence. I also welcome the 4 points that were submitted by Comrade Seseko to the unnamed or unofficial person purported to be representing Cameroun. I want to state this absolutely clear as a reflection of the position of the Ambazonian Governing Council. There will be no direct talks with Cameroun on the issue of the Ambazonian independence or any other issue associated with the Ambazonia-Cameroun conflict, viz. Humanitarian support, ceasefire, or any other issue. There will be no direct talks without international supervision with Cameroun. This is based on our long experience dealing with Cameroun. All attempts at direct talks on any other issue have failed woefully, be they the implementation of UN Resolution 1608, be they direct discussions about Cameroon's imposed federal constitution, be they the dissolution of all political parties in 1966 by Mr. Amadou Ahidjo, even on basic issues of a creation of a university, the reformation of the legal system, the reformation of the colonial educational system. Cameroon has not only failed woefully to engage in good faith in any negotiations on basic issues, it has kidnapped, detained incommunicado, tortured and executed those who have shown themselves willing to engage in meaningful discussions on any topical issue. Number 2, which is critical, the Ambazonian Governing Council welcomes the UN resolution on a global ceasefire because of the COVID-19 pandemic. But as we have stated in our declaration submitted to the office of the Secretary General of the United Nations, there will be no unilateral ceasefire in a conflict where one of the party, the aggressor, is committing crimes of genocide, burning down villages, engaging in systematic torture, disappearances, and continuous assault on our civilian population. We are willing to engage in discussions supervised by the United Nations on the possibility of a ceasefire based on the COVID-19. That ceasefire must be monitored by the United Nations or any other organ delegated by the United Nations or the African Union. That is the position of the Ambazonian Governing Council. The Ambazonian Governing Council calls on all of our forces and our sister forces to maintain the assault in an offensive and defensive position against institutions of occupation, the torturers and rapists and the killers of our people. We call on our people to be on the alert and to avoid the destruction of Cameroon. Be reminded, when the United Nations, the European Union, and other international parties supported the Swiss-led process, Cameroon did not only fail to commit, Cameroon organized a parallel domestic process to blindfold the international system that it has the capability and willingness to resolve an international conflict at the domestic level. After the UN resolution calling on a global ceasefire, most countries in the world committed to that UN resolution, including Ambazonia. Cameroon failed to commit to the UN resolution and decided to blindfold the international system by delegating an unnamed, unofficial person to meet with Comrade Siseko in the guise of negotiating a ceasefire. Cameroon played a public relations stunt on us, and because of our desire for publicity, our desire to exploit every little situation for PR campaigns, we gave Cameroon a PR opportunity to show the world it is willing to engage in direct discussions with us. Cameroon has been going round and round, refusing to commit to international processes that are credible, can be and enforceable, to discuss with the parties that matter in the conflict between Cameroon and Ambazonia. Let our people be reminded, for 60 years, we have tried every possibility under two presidents of Cameroon to reform the colonial state, to adjust ourselves inside and have the possibility to pursue happiness, hope, and opportunity. It has been rejected. We have been called Biafrans, les ennemis dans la maison, 2 cubes of sugar. Our lawyers and teachers rose up to call for the reformation of our educational system that could make us an asset to our local economy and not a liability. Our lawyers also call for the reformation of the legal system that gives the presumption of guilt until a court decides as such. Cameroon decided to kidnap, arrest, and detain these people, and then unleash a wave of terror on our people. We have risen up, Ambazonians. We have given our people pride and hope. The world and Cameroon have been trying desperately to undermine our resistance with cosmetic processes that have no realistic chance of ending the conflict or granting us independence. I call upon you to be reminded, we aren't warmongers. We didn't declare war on Cameroon. Despite its genocide on us, we haven't shown retribution not only on its people, but peoples from neighboring Nigeria, whose country kidnapped and rendition our own fellow comrades to Cameroon. We have shown and exercised restraint. We have demonstrated for the past 60 years our ability to coexist and build a system that is tolerant, based on compromise, and based on the consent of the people. Cameroon has built an autocratic political dispensation that has engaged in extortion, massive corruption, terror as a political instrument to maintain power. This system must come to an end. We, this generation, must dig our heels and make sure we don't transfer this struggle to the next generation. We must be determined to write the last chapter of Cameroon's regime of terror over our people. I understand the pain we go through I understand the desperation to end this. We must all open our eyes and look back on the road we have walked thus far. We will realize the road is littered with the bodies of our forebears, our mothers, our brothers, and our sisters. The rivers of Amazonia are flowing with the blood of the victims of Lake Nyongos, of massacres of Ngabu, of Ikata, the burning of villages. Do we want to walk back all through this disaster and return back in the hands of a brutal occupier? Or do we want to remain steadfast and walk the last lap of this journey as a brave and determined people who never blinked, who never gave up, who never submitted themselves to the manipulation and deception of the international system? Our soldiers should know the sun has risen over Amazonia. Our people must know the sun has risen over Amazonia. Our country will be a better place for you and myself, for the generation yet unborn. We must make sure we do not blink. We do not fall for deception. The battle continues. Victoria Aseta. God bless Amazonia.